Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your boy E-Train. Welcome back to Can I Rant One Time? I'm at work right now, but I'm on break, so thought I'd give y'all a little pearl of wisdom. At least my wisdom. Today's topic is going to be about fear. Now, fear could be interpreted in many different ways, as you all know. But I'm going to tell you how I interpret it. And even before, I saw this particular video, I already kind of, thought about it this way. But seeing this video really put it into perspective for me. Will Smith came out with a video a while ago. I can't remember how long ago it was. But one of the things he said was, God puts the best things on the other side of fear. Let that sink in for a minute, and I'm going to repeat it for you. God puts the best things on the other side of fear. Now, if you look at it the way I do, there's some definite truth to that. There's some definite merit to that. Take those who serve our country. Go overseas. Fight for us. Fight for our freedom. Now, going into that, you can be scared. You can be terrified. You could have some level or some monicum of fear. But you get over there, it could be the best experience you ever had. It could be the worst experience you ever had. And then, vice versa, when you come home, it could be the best experience you ever had. It could be the worst experience you ever had. But still, something that you feared. You tried something that you feared. And in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it benefited you. Let's say you try something. Let's say skydiving. Not everybody, not everybody wants to do skydiving. Not everybody's willing to even try skydiving because, of the number of things that could go wrong while skydiving. I'm one of the people that's like, yeah, that's something I definitely want to try. Even with, knowing what could go wrong while skydiving, that's still something I really, really, really want to try. Haven't had that opportunity yet, but I definitely will. But yeah, you got the fear of, okay, if you're scared of heights, going up in the plane, that's fear right there. The act of jumping out of the plane, that's fear right there. The act of plummeting as fast as you are to the ground, that's fear right there. It's multiple levels of fear. It could be you can have all of them, you can have a couple of them, you could have maybe even one of them, or you could have none of them at all. It all depends on the person. For me, I've never been afraid of heights. I love flying. But for me, where the fear comes in for me is once I'm out of the plane and I'm free falling. That's where the fear will be for me. It's like, I'm enjoying myself while I'm up there, but at the same time, I know eventually around a certain height, so I don't get messed up, I'm gonna have to pull this cord. And there's that, that sneaking suspicion in the back of my head. When I pull this cord, will it open? If the main cord don't work, when I pull the auxiliary cord, will it open? No. So, it's something that you gotta, it's something that you gotta work through on your own. You gotta figure out if, that's for you. But that's even with that fear, that's something I still want to experience. Let's see, another one up, cage diving. That's another thing that I want to do. The fear that comes with that. If you're not a strong swimmer, definite fear. If you have a fear of sharks or any other sea creatures, there's fear there. The cage malfunctioning, not letting you out, or letting other things in, the crane not operating the way it needs to, the rope snapping. Fear. But if even with all this fear in your mind or all this fear in your heart, and you go ahead and you do it and you try it and you enjoy it, it's one of the best things you ever experienced, proves my point. God puts the best things on the other side of fear. And I'm honestly thankful that it is that way. Because if we didn't fear anything, we'd have already done everything that there is to do on this planet, and as far out as we can reach in the universe, or at least in our galaxy. Well, yeah, even past the galaxy, even in the universe. If we didn't have fear, we would have accomplished everything that there was to accomplish. We would know everything there is to know. Our kids coming up wouldn't really be able to experience anything, or at least they'll be able to experience things, but they wouldn't be able to experience anything new. I mean, us, football or basketball, anything like that, yeah, it's not new. But someone, who was born, they're coming up, they never played football, they never played basketball, of course, it's going to be a new experience for them. But figuring out, oh, hey, this rule would be better, would be beneficial for the game, or that rule would be beneficial for the game, or playing it this way or playing it that way, thinking about it this way, thinking about it that way, we could get these benefits, or we could have these faults, or whatever. They wouldn't be able to experience that. The joy of, hey, this was never thought of, or hey, nobody ever tried it this way. I'm trying it this way, and it works. They wouldn't be able to experience that, because any way you can figure out of doing something, we'd have already figured it all out, because we're not afraid. We didn't fear trying it this way. Oh, hey, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's try something else. Or even if it doesn't work, let's flip it another way, try it this way, still doing the same thing. We would have already figured all of this out. There'd be nothing left for them to discover. And that's not a world I want my kids to grow up in. So I'm thankful that we do have fear. I'm thankful that we do have the limitations that we do. And every day, someone somewhere is pushing their limits. Every day, someone somewhere is trying new and different and innovative ways to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. And I'm thankful for that as well. But at the same time, I'm kind of, apprehensive about it. Because I'm like, hey man, my kids got to grow up in this world. And who's to say my kids, or your kids, or even down the line, your kids' kids. Leave something for them to discover. Leave something for them to figure out. We can give them the blueprints to what we already know, and they can build on that. Because if you have the complete blueprint to everything, what's to learn? What's to figure out? What's to discover? We hardly know anything about our ocean. We hardly know anything about space. Shit, come to think of it, we really don't know much about our own freaking planet as a whole. Yet every day, we're trying to figure this out, figure that out, discover this, discover that, discover this, discover that, which is cool. I'm not telling anybody, stop trying to discover things or stop trying to figure things out. No, not saying that at all. But it's a good thing that we have the innate ability to experience fear, because I believe that when you experience that fear, but you conquer it, it means at that point in time, that fear of that specific thing was meant to be conquered. Yet, if you have a fear of something or someone, and it just stagnates you, it's just not letting you go. It just means that this particular thing or this particular person wasn't meant to be conquered right then, or at least wasn't meant to be conquered by you. We hardly know anything about our ocean. There's a reason for that. The fear of what could be down there. And not only that, the fear of the water pressures, the fear of our machines that could take us down there to discover these things would fail. Now we're still trying to figure out and discover how, we can conquer those fears with that specific thing. But because we haven't came up with ways to conquer those things yet, it's not meant to be conquered right now. Let the future generations conquer that fear, so that generations after them can, enjoy the fruits of that fear being conquered. And even then continue to conquer it more, and continue to conquer it more, and continue to conquer it more. Not everything has to be figured out and conquered within a single person's lifetime. If that was the case, once again, back when Jesus walked around, or even before he was born in a human form, they would have figured all of this out. All of it. There wouldn't have been no wars. There wouldn't have been no fighting over this, fighting over that, fighting over this, fighting over that. Because we'd all have equal knowledge of everything. We'd all know the exact same thing. Oh, I know where to find gold. Hey, I do too. I know where to find silver. Oh, hey, I do too. I know about this planet. Oh, hey, I do too. I know about that planet. Oh, hey, I do too. I know about this planet. Oh, hey, I do too. And once again, there's nothing wrong with accumulative knowledge. There's nothing wrong with the group thinking. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because it benefits us in more ways than one. But everything is not meant to be discovered or conquered within a set span of time. Leave something for others to discover. Leave something for others to conquer. Fear, it could be a very detrimental thing. Very detrimental. But it can also be extremely, extremely, extremely beneficial. It all depends on how you look at it. There are those out there who look at it the way I do. There are those out there who look at it a completely opposite way that I do. And that's cool. Share your opinions, share your thoughts, share your rant. Let people know why you feel that, fear is detrimental to you. Let people know why you feel fear is beneficial to you. You never know who it might touch. You never know who it might reach. Hey, you could be the start of discovering something else, and you wouldn't even know about it, because that fear is holding you back from expressing how you feel or how you think about fear. Now, with how a lot of things transpired back before our time, this tongue, it's the world's greatest weapon, in my opinion. This tongue wasn't really understood. This tongue got a lot of people in trouble. This tongue got a lot of people killed. All because of a difference in understanding. All because of difference in opinion. Why do you have to die? Because our opinion is different. Why do you have to be tortured? Because our opinion is different. Doesn't make any sense at all, does it? If you want me to understand you, explain whatever it is you want me to understand the best way you can. And if I still don't understand it the way you're explaining it to me, see somebody else who has a like mind of you but it's still their own viewpoint about it or their own way of looking at it. Have them explain it. And if that doesn't work, have somebody else explain it. If it still doesn't work, even with multiple people explaining the same thing, trying to get you to understand, but it's just not clicking, then at that point, in my opinion, if you don't understand it, it wasn't meant for you to understand. That knowledge was not meant for you. Yet the next person after you having the same conversation, the exact same conversation that you just had with the exact same person, yet in a snap, they understood it, they got it, it resonated with them. That's because that knowledge was meant for them in that time. Just because you don't get something now, just because you don't understand something now, doesn't mean you won't get it later on. Doesn't mean you won't understand it later on. It's just that right now, that piece of knowledge wasn't for you to conquer. And it could be that, you never conquer that piece of knowledge. Yet, your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your uncles, whoever, this thing, whatever it may be, comes up a conversation. Oh yeah, I get that. I understand that. Well, that's amazing. You learned something new. Be happy. Not all knowledge is for everyone. It's just simply just not. Because if that was the case, there would be nothing left to discover. There would be nothing left to understand. The only time anything that we know would be brand new or awe-inspiring is to a child that is just coming into this world, because they don't know. At least, until they come up with the technology to, beam this knowledge into a baby. A baby comes out knowing how to walk, knowing how to talk, knowing how to feed themselves, knowing how to dress themselves, knowing how to potty train and everything like that. Then at that point, you're taking away key experiences. Parents, people, adults that actually want to have and bring children into the world want to experience the diaper changes, want to experience the toothaches, the potty training, the learning how to walk, the learning how to crawl, the learning how to talk. We want to experience those things. But if you just forcibly giving our children this knowledge innately, we won't really get to experience the childhood with our kids. I mean, yeah, we can watch them grow up, get older, get taller, get skinnier, get fatter, whatever. We'll see the change in their physical aspects, but their mental, their emotional, their spiritual, all that's already fully and completely developed. And we're being robbed of that if we knew everything that there was to know. So before you go shitting on fear, before you go thinking fear is the worst thing to ever happen to our species, to this world, think about it. It just might change your mind, and even more deep, it just might change your life. You never know. Look at things through other people's perspective. You'll learn a whole lot more doing it that way. But I'm going to go ahead and get back in here because, as I told y'all, I am at work, so got to get back up in here. The break is about to end. So, thank you. Thank you for hearing me out. And once again, if you are of like-mindedness as I am, or even if you're not, feel free to like, feel free to comment, feel free to share, feel free to subscribe. If you do, thank you. I appreciate you. If you don't, thank you. I appreciate you. Until next time, this is your boy E-Train. This is Can I Rant One Time? Y'all stay blessed. One love.